like some kind of freak or something. Other than his eyes, though, he didn't look mixed. Louis backed the now silent Mustang out of the parking space and headed over to the exit. He glanced at his watch as he turned onto the street. 8:15. In another hour it'd be over, and he'd be on his way out of this mess. Taking another glance in the mirror at the cornrows, he hoped the new look would also mean some new luck. Sergeant Francisco Leal used his binoculars to watch the 5-story hotel across the expanse of the parking lot. It was beginning to fill up, but then again it was summertime and people loved to party. The outside wall of the elevator shaft was made of plexiglass, so it afforded a nice view of everybody going up or coming down. Perfect for keeping tabs on an informant during a controlled buy. He stretched his legs out in the Hummer and leaned back. Still no sign of his snitch, and it was past the time.
"What kind of guy are we supposed to be looking for again?" somebody asked over the radio.
Zachary Barry snorted from his position behind the wheel of the Hummer next to Leal. Picking up his Band 2 mic, he said, "Once again, it's a red Mustang GT." Barry shook his head slightly. "Hard to get good help these days." He was a black man in his mid-30s with braided hair, a pencil-thin mustache, and a soul patch. Ornate gold rings graced several of his fingers, although this was the only extravagance to his dress. His shirt was dark blue, as was his jacket, and he wore blue jeans and Nike gym shoes. He fingered the pair of small binoculars suspended around his neck and canted his head as he spoke to the man seated next to him in the car.
"You sure your boy the lip's gonna show, Frank?"
Leal considered the question for a moment and watched as the elevator brought another group of people to the top floors of the hotel. "Yeah," he said, "as sure as you can be anyway, dealing with a snitch. He knows if he don't deliver tonight, he's going bye-bye on the possession charge we got him on." Leal was in his early 30s, too, and was also dressed in dark clothes. His black hair was cut shorter than it had been in his drug unit days into what he now called a Latino Ivy League, and his once elongated Fu Manchu mustache was neatly trimmed. "They don't call him Louis the Lip for nothing, but you know how it is with these fuckers. They say they'll be there at 8:30, they mean 8:45 or 9. He watched as the plexiglass elevator descended again, its passengers plainly visible. "Hell, at least we got a good view of things." "So, you miss working dope scene, bro?" Barry asked, taking out a cigarette and placing it between his lips. As an afterthought, he got the pack out again and offered it to Leal, who shook his head. "I quit," Leal said, "and I miss it about as much as I miss working Meg." Barry held the cigarette between his fingers. "You mind, then?" Leal shook his head. "Just crack the window." Barry pressed the button, lowering the tinted driver's side window of the black Hummer. The sweltering heat began to creep inside, but the engine was idling with the air conditioning on, so it was hardly noticeable. A lighter flared in Barry's hand, and Leal watched him lean back and inhale the smoke. He did start to feel the familiar craving as the odor teased his nostrils. Coy, like the perfume of an old girlfriend. But he knew it would pass in a few minutes. Barry let it drift out of his mouth lazily as he spoke. "You completely recovered from getting shot?" "Yeah," Leal said. "In better shape now than before it happened. Running, working out. You look pretty lean and mean, bro. I feel great, too. You ought to come over to the gym sometime. My partner can get you a copper's discount on the membership." "See that female bodybuilder I heard so much about?" "Yeah, Olivia.